Yee.
Hello! Hey guys, how's it going? How's it going, everyone? Hope everyone's okay. Having a nice Wednesday today. RaceRoom! The room that races has been updated. And you know, we love live streaming updates. It's my hobby. I actually like driving sims or anything. I just like updates. I should be a news presenter. All they do is stream updates. They don't do anything else, just updates. Oh, what's happened in the world 1.0 today? Today on the news, a boat has crashed into the harbour after they realised a boat does not have any brakes. Why do they talk like that? I'm going to do this whole update in a news voice. Today on Gamer Muscle, we will be looking at the new update of RaceRoom's force feedback. Some have said that RaceRoom's previous force feedback didn't work well with direct drive wheels, but the new force feedback has been said to make it work better. Over to our correspondent in a sim rig, where we investigate the changes to the force feedback. Why do they talk like that? So, in the new files, we will see that if you go over to the website with the details of the new force feedback, there is a forum post detailing all the changes. Okay, I'm going to start doing that now. I'm going to have an aneurysm. Yeah, so new force feedback works totally different from the previous one, so that's going to be interesting to test out. I have already tried it in the beta. I thought it was alright. We'll be interested to see if it's changed at all from when I tried it. I've not tried it since the beta. And also there's some updates to the user interface, which is the most important part of all driving simulators. You know, what's more important than user interface? I don't know. Nothing. Literally grass. That's it. So the main changelog updates, as written on the Steam update page: new force feedback system. Options menu interface has been redone with field of view tools, triple screen setup and search field. Replay interface has been redone with added keyframes feature. Gameplay menus interface has been redone with timing screen. Test drive feature in the store page now allows to select any one of the free track layouts. Particles, smoke and dirt puffs. You dirt puff. It's been... What has it been improved or added or... Oh, improvements. Particles, sparks added on applicable cars. I mean, surely every car is applicable if you put a firework in the exhaust pipe. Sparks will be emitted with varying amounts depending on the type of material. That's a right old conflagration. RaceRoom Fireworks Simulator 2021. Particles, added exhaust fumes. Smoky, cars will emit varying types of fumes and destroy the environment as you drive along, making Greta Thunberg cry more until she's got no more tears to cry and becomes that of an emaciated prune. Depending on the engine type, exhaust types and engine temperature. Oh, your temperature is correct, otherwise you'll be smoking too much. Sounds, improvements, oscillations, gear shifts, nice. Sounds, updated sound from riding on curbs. You love riding on curbs. Everyone's obsessed with curb riding sounds recently. AMS2 was doing that. Controllers, updated latest Thrustmaster. Thrustmaster? Thrustmaster re-releasing the same wheel Thrustmaster. That Thrustmaster. Thrustmaster no direct drive wheel Thrustmaster. Who are you talking about when you type thrust? Who were they? Come on, Thrustmaster. Where's your DD? Oh, it supports the new SF1000 wheel. That's good though. If you like screens on your wheels. Added support for 16:5 aspect ratio with 3840x12000 resolution. No, I need 10,000 million by 3 resolution. Website banner resolution. What else? BMW content, blah blah blah. Content, yeah, you know. Right, guys. Hello. It's all well worth checking out Bad Blitz. I'm going to predict Game of Muscle's verdict. It's not as good as nothing's as good as AC, Pete. I was playing Kart Sim by P-Boss Kart Sim. That was actually surprisingly good. Probably one of the best go-kart sims at the moment. Did you miss much? No, not really. I just went through the list that people could read for themselves. But I figured that if you're watching this channel, you're probably illiterate. So I read it out for you guys. 23,000 hours of engineering development. Right. Click that like button, guys. We could do 100 likes in the first 10 minutes. Come on, guys. That'll be a world record for the channel. Will he do it? There's only 3 minutes left, and they are already on 50 likes, but they could get to 100. And Mansell has lost a wheel, but the likes are moving up into the 178. Oh, it's incredible. It could be a new like record. 84. He's gone full turbo. Surely the engine can't maintain this pace. Oh, is it? It's incredible. 92. They're so close with only 2 minutes to go. It looks like they will win the 100 likes per 10-minute challenge for the first time in the history of the channel. 98 likes. Just 2 likes to go. Oh, it's it's happened. I broke my microphone. Thanks, guys. 100 likes per 10 minutes. Man, Power Beast. What a way to begin the stream. Beautiful. Right, what is going on? End stream. Right, thanks for watching, guys. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Enjoyed the live stream. We're done. That's it. Career over. Right. Neutral gear is the best gear. So great for avoiding engine braking. Right, so let's get things set up in single player here. I totally broke my microphone there. I could hear it clipping in my headset. Single player. Night night. Hello Twang. Single event. What car should we start with then? Probably not the Nissan. What's the benchmark car? Porsche GT3 Cup car. It's a good benchmark car. I love Porsches. Porsches are the best. Porsches are so good. I think Porsche is a brand as well. So amazing. You know, I'm just saying. If I was to be sent to Porsche by Porsche, you know, what you know. Right. I'm doing the Porsche. I'm going to keep shitting Porsches until they accidentally send me one and regret it. Hello, Coyote Racing, Mr. Fruit Machine. This is live for everyone. Well, Mid-Ohio's a nice track. Silverstone's like the ultimate test track, I find, because it's flat, got the corners, got slow, it's got fast. Flat tracks are best for testing stuff. Silverstone, there we go. Grand Prix, there we go. Just give us a quick little. Right, did I go single race? I clicked on the wrong thing, didn't I? Single player. Practice. I think I clicked on the wrong thing because I'm a moron. Right, there we go. Oh, well, we're going to Watkins Glen. I don't know how to use computers. Oh, look at that. Audi Sport wheel rim. That's nice. Spa is a good track. Yeah, but it's got really long straights that go on forever, so you don't know. When you know, it takes a longer time to test things out. You want something. The thing is, the only problem with Silverstone as a test track is it doesn't have those. It doesn't have. There's specific corners in sims that break sims, like Bungaro Ring, otherwise known as Hungaro Ring. Is it Hungaro Ring? The left-hander that goes downhill. Those sort of left, slight, steep downhill corners, prolonged downhill at a certain angle at low speed. Those are the best corners for testing driving sims, because that's the type of thing that the tyre model and the physics, like, you're not on downforce, you've got the tyres on load, and the cars, it's the thing that breaks it. The dev recommended Nordschleife for testing new force. Well, yeah, Nordschleife is the best track. Let's be honest. But it is so long that if you want to keep doing stuff, it takes a long time to get around it. Hello, Jacques. Well, let's just see what happens here. Okay, well, the FARs are definitely reset. I've got a bit of a zoom on here. I've got my wheel set up for go-karts. Oh, jeez, right. Seat time. Seat. We've definitely reset the profile there because field of view is massive. Look at all the new UI stuff. Looks so much better than the previous one. Field of view. Look at this. You've got new field of view calculator stuff. Those guys on Reddit will love this shit. Ah, Jesus, the bloody field of view police. I did a comment on Reddit because someone was like, I've got 3 monitors. What field of view should I do? How important is calculator? And I was like, oh, don't worry about it. Just do what you like. And I got like loads of downvotes from people. They're like, wow, it's important you set it up correctly. It's like, well, actually, no, it's not. Set it up to whatever you like. You set it up nicely, but look at this. This is cool. This gives you a nice little visualization, innit? There you go. Look, you can set it up exactly to how your screens are if that's what you want to do. So, it's good as a benchmark to use calculators and stuff to set it up. But at the end of the day, monitors are totally abstract. So unless you're using a VR headset, it's going to be you'll probably find some like wonky seat position and some custom field of view will actually end up being ultimately the best for you. But you might as well start off with a calculated good field of view. Yeah, don't trigger the field of view, please. Right. What's the shortcut button for field of view, though? I like to just do it quickly in the car. Oh, I see. I was moving the wrong thing. I was moving the wrong slider, man. Oh, dear. Basic field of view. There we go. I'm a bit basic. Right. Oh, I see. I see how that's working. That's better. Why have I got these black lines though? What's that about? Am I missing something there? Use the Fanatec Bentley wheel. I don't have the Fanatec Bentley. Oh, I did see it, yes. Change the controls here. Oh, did I enable triple screens? Where was that? Hello, dog. You knew there'd be something to do wrong. Oh, here we go. Look, you can see it on here. That's good. There we go. Oh, I see. There we go. I see what's going on there. What a bloody idiot. Well, that's good. That's good to know, isn't it? Oh, I see what's going on here. Don't click triple screen mode. Right. Yeah, so you can do all this properly if you want to, but I'm not bothered. That's good though. You can see all that all there. Let's change we need the seat position. Look at all this is like the user interface is so much easier to click through and see the options. Zoomy. Volume settings is nice. Controls. Right, we need to seat up. Shift up, shift down, shift down. See. I know. Why would you let me in a car? Drive it, look left, look right. Adjust, there we go. WASE. So why is that not doing anything when I'm on track? Oh, it is, I'm just thick. Oh, there's a search function. That's good. It's like DCS. Right. For some reason, I need to buy my controls. Clutch in. That's all good. Shift up. There we go. Shift up. Shift down. DRS. Push to back. That's all good. Need look left, look right, and all that. Look at this, guys. This is exciting. This is what you're tuned in for. Oh dear. By the way, guys, go and subscribe to Joel Gortner. He's got better lighting than me, and he's a better glider pilot. But don't tell him that. I need to get in the gliders. Actually, I'm a bit behind on that. Right. Okay. We're ready. I need to turn the old force fin back up here. Am I getting any foot? Yeah, we are getting force feedback. Right, if this does not feel like a real car, I'll be very disappointed. Are we good? This car's well understeering. Yeah, adjust some settings here. I think my field of view might still be a bit high. Well, good engine sounds. I know! I've got my aircon on behind me, Mr. 7. Mr. Lee. Bloody hell. My head's finally stopped peeling. Whoa, bloody hell. Okay, we need to do some tweaks here. I like this, the timing board stuff here. That's really nice. Oh, we still need to... Right, there we go. Lower the field of view. If you find that you feel like a car's really understeering in a driving sim, often your field of view is too high. I find when you have a higher field of view, it makes it look like the car's more understeering than it actually is. So let's put that there. What else was I going to do? Oh, yes. Brake bias. Front, rear. Right, there we go. What else was I going to do? Oh yeah, in the car setup, return to garage. That's nice. Options. Drinking game. Every time game as real life. I didn't say real life racing driver. I am not a real life racing driver. I'm never going to be a real life racing driver because I'm too unfit. You know. That's one of my little pet peeves is when you get a YouTuber that's done like, or not even a YouTuber, anyone, not like sim racing YouTuber, anyone, they'll get in like a, they'll get paid to go in a race car or something, and they're like, I'm a race driver now, and it's like, well, no, you're not. Like, unless you're like, unless you've done go-karting or you're in an actual decent series, it's like, well, you are race driving, but are you being paid to get results? Well, you know, you know, do you know what I mean? There's definitely a thing there, which I think is exploited by a lot of influencers. If, like, in fairness, Jimmy doesn't do that. Super GT Steven doesn't do that. The sim racing YouTubers don't tend to do that because they're actually appreciate the talent that goes into like the top tier race drivers and stuff. It's normally like weird Instagram YouTubers that do that. Right. So AC better than real life. What was I going to do? Car setup page. I've got mental here. Car setup. Here we go. Steering lock. What's my rig look like these days? It's my Simlab P1X cockpit. I'm pretty good with my shopping trolley around Lidl's, I have to say. So, I'll turn this up. What's the point of Thrustmaster wheel? Well, you have to realise that companies work on products like years before they release them, so they probably weren't expecting Fanatec to release a DD at the same price point. Hello, Sim Racing Wales. Yeah, might turn the force feedback up here. See, this is the Porsche Cup car, isn't it? It's quite can be quite an understeery car anyway. I feel for it. The traction control kicking on there. A bit ran out of track there. Hello, Miguel Lopez. Do we get laser scan force feedback? You're not allowed laser scan force feedback, it'd be too advanced. And I'm understeering everywhere here. I think most people will really like the new force feedback for sure. Way better than ACC, but I mean literally like smearing dog shit over your face. Better than ACC force feedback. Did I say that? I said that out loud. I should keep that to myself. Spain trashing Slovakia. Trying to find the balance point here. Hey, Kingfisher Racing. I mean, my wheel rotation is 1-to-1 here. I think I could do with tightening the steering rack in the sim. Shots fired. I don't think Porsche is understeered, like generally. Don't say anything negative about Porsches. You meant the steering rack, did I make it wider? Yeah, I could probably do with making it tighter. Nigel, well that's because you've got bad taste. It's not bad. ACC force feedback works. It just doesn't tell you information that's needed to drive properly. So you have to drive from memory. Don't get me started, man. Right, right, car setup. We're going to go and join some ranked servers in a minute. We're just getting things set up here. Garage. Reset the lock-in setup page if it feels weird. It's not. It doesn't feel weird. I just need. I always get my lock back to front. Is that tighter or higher? Is faster steering. I always get confused between the lock and the ratio. Fortunately, they've got good descriptions on this. Increasing will speed up. There you go. That's fine. Oh yeah, we need to bind the force feedback options, controls. Force feedback. Oh, we're on 50, which is probably all right. They've got good. They've got these little graphs here that I think you can display on the screen to know if you're clipping or not. Blah blah blah. Minimum force, maximum force. That's all fine. Stationary friction. Oh, fair enough. Right. So that should be all okay. There was a binding for individual cars. Options, individual car force feedback, I think. Ah, here we go. Force feedback multiplier. Let's put that on this. Well, let's put it on the wheel for now. Nice. Yeah, RaceRoom's awesome. Oh, we're already on like 2.2. Let's see if my profile on my wheel is... I find with Fanatec wheels, you're better off running higher force feedback on the Fanatec wheel and then lowering it in the game, because the Fanatec wheels seem to respond better when they've got more power going through them. Oh, there we go, that's better. Also tight steering. I like tight steering. Oh, that's way better. I really like snappy steering, but I have to say, when I drove a 7 Motorsports car, that steering was a little bit less snappy than what I would typically have in a driving sim. But it didn't matter, because you can feel so much of the forces that everything's more responsive. I think sims just aren't as responsive as real cars, so I think that's why I like my brake pedal as well. I like to make more responsive in the driving sims, like more sensitive, because sims aren't as responsive and sensitive as reality. I feel like by making the equipment more sensitive, it then kind of bridges that gap a little bit. It's kind of that was in back to front, but That seems to make sense for me. Does this game have a good online system? Bodie FPS. Yeah, it has a nice rank system. Definitely worth checking out. There we go, we're getting there. With the RaceRoom with this new force feedback is really nice. I think because I didn't mind the old force feedback with a lot of the cars because I kind of got used to it, and I definitely like the understeer, the very obvious lead up to front end understeer with the old force feedback. RaceRoom's got quite a forgiving tyre model, which is quite realistic, to be honest, I think. So, in the same way that AC does. But yeah, a lot of people I don't think liked the previous RaceRoom force feedback. I think more people would like this force feedback. I did quite a lot of RaceRoom. There we go. This is making more sense now. I just had to turn the multiplayer up. Yeah, well, that's the thing. So with the new force feedback, if you read through Tom's explanation of how it works, you can understand why there's better sort of preemptive loading feel for the rear, which emulates sort of G-force and mass through the steering wheel a lot better, which is very useful for driving and in many ways captures aspects of what you get in real life. And the original AC does it really well. Sounds fantastic in this car, guys. Listen to this. Hello, Game Tech. How's it going, man? How do I show the force feedback meter? What's the shortcut? Game Tech, you need to get on RaceRoom, man. Game Tech's a bloody iRacer. Poor guy. I think more people will get on it with the ranked races. Fantastic, especially in Europe. So, Tom, you git! I was reading the chat message then, drove into the wall. That'll be £10,000, please, for my car. It's all about gyroscopic forces, yeah. So you get a preemptive. When you go around the corner, you're getting preemptive load on the steering wheel before your car's actually moving. And in real life, when you're going around the corner, you can feel the G-forces pushing you before the tyres give out. It leads, it's very similar. Just leaving. Right, let's get in another car. I was going to say, the sounds are really nice in that car. Right, here we go. We might as well just join a ranked server. Denim shorts, eh? Exactly. You wouldn't have anything to do with the force feedback, Tom. Are you sure you want to quit? Yes. Right, there we go. Multiplayer. So this is the really nice thing with RaceRoom now. Is the... right, if I learn how to click buttons. If you get to multiplayer... Run higher forces on the Fanatec rim and lower in the game. Yeah, I prefer that. I find with all the sims, with the Fanatec DDs, they tend to respond better if you have higher on the wheel but lower in the game. But if you do run the wheel really high... Oh, here we go. Monza GT3, perfect. If you do run it really high on the wheel, if the game puts out a sudden jolt, you might break your wrists. That's the downside. So you might want to turn it down on the wheel, like gradually turn it up until you know for sure that this simulated car is not going to break your wrist. Because when we were playing Automobilista 2 and we got a sudden, like, those of you who were watching the stream, that's cool, you saw it, like, it almost ripped my hands off because it went, I was just holding the wheel gently and it decided that this little bump was 100% force feedback like that. How could I doubt that there would be a stream about this? Hello, Jasprov. Tom, why safety? What's this about? All sim racers should be murdered via their wrists. Have you been playing RaceRoom? Game Tech. By the way, guys, check out Game Tech's channel. He streams more than me, so And he's a bit southern. He's more southern than me. Or is he? I think he is. I think he's a little bit more southern than me. I mean, I didn't grow up southern, so he's definitely more southern than me. Right, here we go. Let's get this car set up. So this is on the ranked server. So basically, if you just tick those boxes on the server list, show ranked only, and then this tracks your rank. At the moment, I'm probably 500th again because I've played for a while. But the ranking on this is great. So you do your races, build up your ranking, and build an EP. What more is there to laugh? I don't know. Right, might just have to turn some laps here. I might need to go a little bit higher on my field of view. I've gone a bit too far with it. See. One of the things I like to do as well, when it comes to field of view, is sometimes run a lower field of view, but then move my seat back, so you get the low field of view, but you can also get a bit more visibility. So this is why I say about I later game tech. This is why I say about force field of view. Why? Sure, use a calculator, but sometimes piddling around and doing something a bit abstract can actually work better for an individual. This is saying, do you need tea delivered? Oh, that'd be nice. Yeah, she can make me a cup of tea. Guys, when I was at Blyton Park with 7 Motorsports, Mrs. 7 Motorsport was bringing me cups of tea. It's amazing. I was like, oh, what's the point in having a girlfriend or anything, or wife, what's the point? But then I was getting cups of tea made for me constantly, and I was like, actually, I'm starting to see benefits here. Wow. Absolutely, So the cars feel a lot more weighty with this new force feedback, because one of the things you can do is you can turn the force feedback up a lot higher without it going crazy, which then gives you a nice sense for the weight of the vehicles, which again makes up for the fact... Throttle. Oh, hello.
My DD girl is arriving today. I was too dumb to work the affiliate link, so here ya go.
Oh, thank you. Coggy just sent me money. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. You don't have to send me money just because you bought a wheel and my link didn't work. Cheers. What was I saying? I'm boozled myself there. Turn this down a bit. Tea and biscuits? Oh my god. You're as southern as an Eccles cake. Oh yeah, so we were saying about how the previously, if you were to use a DD wheel with RaceRoom and you turned your force feedback up really high to get more weighted force feedback, you'd find that you'd end up with it being a bit abrupt and a bit harsh. So I always used to run the force feedback quite low in RaceRoom. I don't necessarily mind, to be honest. If you're the type of person that likes a lot heavier force feedback, let them go past. Like, it makes the cars feel a lot more stable. Like, going over those bumps feels very natural. Every girl in the chat just left. It's alright, there's only like 2 women watching. There's Claire! How is your name? Why is your name pronounced Mabot when it's spelt with an E? Like, what is that? It's like pure hatred of dyslexics. That's English language. Let's spell everything completely arbitrary. Right, here we go. It's awesome, Rich's Race. I think most people really like it. Way better than ACC. I would say it's not as detailed as R Factor 2 in the suspension stuff and tyre flex field, but it's better, I think, than R Factor 2 in the car loading aspect component. If that makes sense. I was playing Kart Sim Pro by P-Boss earlier today, and that has really good force feedback. Quite, in some ways, similar to this in some senses. See, the nice thing now on the braking, you can preemptively feel the back of the car wanting to come out. Got to trot. All right, Betty Swallocks. I've got my force feedback. My steering way too sensitive on this car now. Oh yeah, I should have gone for the Corvette. It's faster. Huge error. What's funny is how much force feedback changes the perception of a driving sim. I would imagine there's a load of people that played RaceRoom and really didn't like it. They were like, oh, I didn't like the physics. And I imagine now they have done physics changes as well, but I think the force feedback would change their mind. In a way, the force feedback actually makes the GT3 cars drive more like the ACC GT3 cars. But, messed that up with more information. You've got 7 minutes to join this practice. Brake bias is too far forward. That makes sense, Matt. That's back to front. The brake bias is too far forward, the car would just understeer. Do you feel the road slipping at braking points? No. No midlife crisis, no first impressions allowed. I'll get a lap time in here. Oh yeah, if the brake bias is too far back, then it will be too snappy on the brakes, which it probably is. That's why. Saying it's back to front to what you were saying, Matt. Our brake pedal might be a bit too sensitive as well. Hello, Rappy Badurka Reng. That's an easy name to read. There we go. See how my brake was snagging. That's a good way to know if your brake bias is set too far rearward. Is when you get on the brake, does the rear just suddenly snap oversteer? Also, brake pressure as well is a good way. You'll know if your brake pressure is too high. Indonesia, nice. The green machine. I think the new force feedback makes it more likely that someone would want to drive calmer. Hello. Me too. What's it just going on? What's that about? I need to rebind my traction control buttons. Oh, thanks, Matt. That's what people from Ashby do. You can't trust them. Zero Force Racing. You need to find 6 seconds for the... Yeah, I'm always slow in quali. Look at this. Scorp, this is awesome. What does that do? Oh, look at that. You click this button and it makes you feel bad about yourself. That's perfect. This is it's a really good way of laying out the... look. Right. What was I going to do? I've just bamboozled myself, guys. What was I going to do? Oh, yeah. Options, controls. Traction control. Yeah, I don't know why this has gone funny. I might have. There we go. You can do multiple drivers. Oh, look at that. What's this about? Compare myself with the best driver. Nice. Just, you can see how bad you are. Great feature. Right, oh yeah, I was going to increase my field of view a little bit as well, because weirdo. Do. Hello, Phantom Racer. How's it going, man? Yeah, I was using R-Factor 2 earlier today. It took me like an hour to get it up and running. Bloody hell. Trevor Wenham. Well, you can try it out for free, so you can answer that question for yourself. Just go and just download it. I want some halloumi ratatouille. I'm alright, thanks. I appreciate the offer. If you ever get a chance, guys, to play RaceRoom in a motion rig, it's really nice. It's alright, Meepop. What do I think of the Bentley Fanatec room? I don't think it looks very nice, but it might be really ergonomic. JF. I think he might be biased. Yeah, I'm not a fan of how that Fanatec rim looks. I think that's the thing with a lot of real-world race rims, though. They often look terrible, but can be quite nice to use. Oh, that Thrustmaster... one of the Thrustmaster rims looks absolutely awful, but it's one of the nicest rims to hold on to. I don't like the circular screen, actually. I just like... Because I know, if it's a circular screen, I know it's a square screen, they've just put a thing around it. I'm like, hang on, why not just have a square screen without the thing around it? I need more grip. Need more super glue on the wheels. Oh yeah, I need to try Auto HUD again. You can work with a busted, but it should do. Yeah, to me that Bentley Fanatec wheel looks like steampunky. I need more front end bite from this car. Whoa! E-Brewers did not take the chicane. Okay, we go off to the quali. Whew. I need a helicopter. Too much slower. Okay, that was the warm up. We'll get there. We didn't have any fuel out of the car. Here we go for quali, guys. Oh, it's a reference to the... Well, fair enough. I mean, you know, it's I know some people say they really like how it looks, so... It's, you know, how something looks, and if you like the design of it, it's subjective, so it doesn't really matter what I think. As I say, what matters with a wheel is like what does it actually feel like to use? How accessible are the buttons? How much pressure do the buttons take to actuate? How clear is the screen to see? You know what I mean? All that stuff's really what matters. Keep doing that. Need there we go. Car setup. We need to do. Get the rear turned out more and braking. Hello, Gillum Heringer. If you are buying content, guys, make sure you buy VRP through the RaceRoom store, because it will save you like 20 quid or something if you're buying a complete pack. Fuel. There we go. Oh, that's nice. In the little qualifying timer. Whoop! Hello there, big gawler. Best deals to buy. I don't know. It's whatever they happen to be running. I think if you wanted to get content to do the racing, you basically it's more the tracks, because you only need one car per event that's going on. Whoop. It's all right. I'm understeering a bit. I'd like a little bit more turning. I don't know. The reason why I'm not massively talking about the new Bentley rim is because the reason why the BMW rim was interesting and like worth, like why I think it's exciting is because it's the first real race car sim racing steering wheel. So it's a first, you know. I can feel the road, yeah. Oh, do you mean like road vibrations? No, you might want to turn the effect up for that. Like you'll be able to feel, you can feel suspension compressions over big bumps, but you can't feel like a constant road texture. But you, oh bugger, there's an effect for that. I might turn up a little bit actually. I did, Montagra, thank you. Yeah, it was awesome. It's not the break point. Oh no, do I not get this lappy? Bloody hell. I don't think we're going to get a quali lap in here. You're getting, what FFB problems are you having, Labpon? Yeah, and they start you on the track, which is nice. You don't have to waste time doing an out lap. Not quite getting to the limit here. Oh no! Textbook line through that. Just twiddling my settings. Probably an inopportune time to do that. Right, here we go. Let's try and get a lap in here. Oh, thanks for clicking the like button, guys. Welcome along, everyone that's joined us. Concentration here. I do not want to be starting at the very back of the grid in a GT3 race. I'm happy to be in like 15. Should be possible. Ah, come on. Enough grip. This time last. Hello, Gear Peter. Thanks for subscribing. I need to change my diff settings. The car's understeering on the throttle too much. Oh dear. Oh, we're next to Nigel, that's alright. We've got a friend with us. I think he's going to auto. There you go. Woo! The AI's traction control. Here we go. So me, Thomas, and Nigel, we're starting at the back here. Did that on purpose. Makes it more exciting. P. Marconi up the top there. Look at that. Last to first challenge here. How many laps is it? 15-minute race. Well, let's just put the fuel up here. It's all good. Okay, so it's nice the timing stuff at the top. Welcome, whoever just subscribed there. Spencer Olga, thank you. Oh, wow. Let's see how this goes. How open wheel racing? How's open? It's alright. What's this car in front? We've got like a 90s Ford in front of us. What's that about? Here we go. We were slow off the start. Textbook. You've got to get yourself through the traffic, haven't you? I missed the replay button there. It's too slow. No, we got it. This is ranked, yes. A new, sounds like a new car contact scrape sound. Bonk. Oh dear, what are they doing up front? For some reason the names are displaying underneath the cars since the update. No, I think that's something you can adjust in the config file, in the documents. Auto body shop. Sounds like Carmageddon 2. Need like those springs to fire people out. Are they? Oh, I'm still understeering on the throttle, so I might even open the rear diff even more. You just drive into me, guys. I'll move over. Oh, come on, you missed a brake point. Is that Thomas Schmidt? He missed his brake point. Oh, he still got through the corner now. I can't really complain. Schmidt war. What is he driving? Oh, you idiot. No. What are you doing? Mr. J. Jota. Fortunately, this is not iRacing and you can actually... you don't have to get out of the way as much because you can get hit by a car and it doesn't totally kill you. Well, unless someone literally pushes you off the road like this guy is. Oh, he's Rinyard. What are you doing, man? It's alright, John. He's braking too early now. What are you doing? This guy's out of control. Gotta get past him. He's slowing this up. Now, no one asked about the force feedback. Not once. Finish him. Well, we're going to play Operation Late Break here. Should be able to pass him. I'm going to try and draw him over to the left as much as possible, then pass him on the right. Don't get much draft in this. Yeah, it's weird. You don't get much draft in RaceRoom at all compared to some of the other GT3 sims. That's just any Game of Muscle live stream. Oh my god, the name tags. Oh, it's Thomas Schmidt. Oh no, it's someone else. I need to turn the name tags off. What's the shortcut for name tags? N. No. T. No. Turn them off. Oh, I don't know. All these cars bunched up in front. I've got too much traction control. There goes another one. I think there's a track cut and wide. That's traction control. Put it on 4. 10 minutes to get a DQ here. Is this car racing or name tag racing? Control Alt Delete, yeah? Alt F4. I'm just running a high field of view with a weird camera setting. Just ignore that. I'm just fiddling with the field of view. Oh, come on. That's alright. I'll do a proper video about the 4-speed back once I've had enough time with it. D. Ah, there you go. Thanks, Cat Debate. See, every sim is like I in one sim, N in another sim. There's no name shortcut button standard. Why are you braking there? Jesus. That's like a slight lift corner. Any other sim and it would have been wrecked from that. Thomas Smith's got to 9th. I'm stuck behind this bloody London bus Bentley. That's better. With the traction control down, we can drift the corners. There we go. Oh, bugger. God damn it. Oh, we got a big wreckage in front of it. There we go, I'm going to brake later. Old shortcut over the you have to hope that your car's tall enough to do that. There we go. Bloody hell, we were well held up by that guy. It's a Monza, yes. Oh, thanks for subscribing. Welcome along. J and Aero, 1.8 seconds in front of us. I was reading the chat. Shortcut. Whoops. It's not a good time to try and read the chat. Car goes across. Good off-road handling on this Porsche. They really nailed the Porsche handling off-road with this. Yeah, the off-road's good in this. Here we go, we're catching up with Arrow Dam. Welcome along, guys that have tuned in. There's a like button if you want to click it. I after this race, what I might do is add a tiny bit of road effects in. Oh, jeez. Keep cutting the track. Oh, nice one, Gregory. I can't help it, JM. It's just our drive. Justin Hung has left the game. Three minutes to go. Oh, you've got to watch out because this is the ranked. If you get more than 30 points, you get insta DQ'd. Which you don't want. Seems to be better if you turn the multiplier up. Seems to help feel more what your car's doing. The biggest difference with the new force feedback is the sort of gyroscopic type feel, the sort of ability to feel the weight of the car when you've got a bit of turn on and you're trail braking. And it's the new force feedback works nicer with the higher force feedback settings on the DD wheels. Most of the car companies start off by doing tractors. I didn't mind the old force feedback, but you did have to turn it down a little bit. It felt stiffer and mushier. Yeah, I think there's more built-in dampening. Which I don't know if you can edit that in the text file, but that'd be helpful. If you've got a DD wheel, you can. It doesn't really matter if the game's got more dampening in it because you can just run stronger force feedback. I think we've got one more lap here. This will be better. Try and get J. Aru. Thomas Smith's got to glorious 7th. He's filthy. Filthy lap times. It feels very different. Woo. Final lap here. Hello, filing account. That was way faster Delta, but I think our fastest laps were didn't count. Nice one, Welsh Hunter. Oh dear. I went a bit too fast into that corner. Well, last to 11th isn't too bad. I can't believe Thomas got 7th because I was stuck behind that bloody Bentley for 3 laps. Find a way past it. What do you mean? A big difference in terms of what? Like, I mean, the old force feedback I found all right for driving, to be honest. If the new force feedback, if you use a DD wheel and you like stronger force feedback, then you'll prefer the new force feedback. Definitely makes the cars feel heavier. I think the only thing that I preferred in the old force feedback is when you turn, you can feel the fronts going, the force feedback would fall off from the fronts going over the limit, whereas now what you get is a vibration, which isn't as good. So it's harder in the new force feedback to know how much you can turn in before like it falls off. It's more realistic in the new force feedback. In a real car, when you turn too much, the tyres start vibrating because they can't purchase the road properly, especially if you've got road tyres. If you've got race tyres, it's slightly different. But like with the road tyre, you get this like, I don't know. I've been around a racetrack in a Honda Type R as a passenger, and when those tyres understeer, the front of the car's like the wheels go like everything's going like that. So you get that shakenness, but you don't get as much of a lead-in fall off for understeer. So mid-corner, it's harder to know. It's harder to know if you can push it more or less, which is I think which for me makes me understeer more, or not drive as hard. But other than that one component, every other aspect of the force feedback I think is a lot better than the previous version. Yeah, the old force feedback would do like weirdo tugs and things. So I used to run it a lot lower. Can you feel which aspect of wheel slip? I think braking lockup might be a bit harder to feel, but it's not like, I don't know. It's hard to say. Is it better than R Factor 2 force feedback? Well, R Factor 2's got great force feedback, Mr. Ermin. The problem with R Factor 2 is the physics are knackered with a lot of the cars. I was driving it a fair bit today, actually, and the problem with R Factor 2 is once you get onto the limit, the tyres get into like this flat profile. They lose like variation in the nature of how they in the grip variation, if that makes sense. So they go into this sort of flat mode, which is a problem because if you are driving, you're trying to drive at the limit, and so once you get up to speed in R Factor 2, it gets worse. It like it's not broken. Like you still control it, you can still drive. It just loses all its depth at the limit, which is, and you can feel, and the force feedback goes dead as well. So that's R Factor 2's problem. That's why when you watch like the esports stuff with R Factor 2, where they drive, it's like they get into like they're driving normally and they come to a corner, it's like locked into a slide. Now driving normally. It's really weird. Oh dear. I was playing R Factor 2 a fair bit today, and then I jumped with like the go-karts, and then I jumped into Kart Sim Pro, and it's like on another level on the limit to R Factor 2. But I think R Factor 2 is very car dependent as well. Some cars in R Factor 2 don't do that. Right. Well done, Alonso, Hendrik P. Mukin. That's awesome. Nicely displayed. Right. Next race. What I do like with R-Factor 2 force feedback though, that I think is really good, is you can there's a tyre flex type feeling which is really nice, and the suspension's really nice. There's a bunch of things in R-Factor 2 that are great. What are we doing? Zandvoort CR1 Cup. What's this? Well, why not? I'll give it a go. I don't know, Grant, but it'll probably be very expensive. Oh, here we go. It's a nice, sensible car. Yeah, there's a rawness to R-Factor 2 force feedback, but I think that's mostly the suspension. Sort of, you're feeling the suspension jolts and everything. It's a little bit over the top, to be honest, but I can see that's quite immersive. I don't know, Big Natty. I'm not sure. Old Zandvoort good in this sim. Is this? I don't know which track we're doing here. Ah, good idea, midlife crisis. I'll add that in. It's a fine Danish car. Right. Go. Oh, someone wanted me to put the force feedback meter on the screen. How do we do that? How do you get the force feedback meter on the screen? The little shake effect, what's that? Oh, here we go. M. I'm not here to use Google. use the search function. I'm here to sim race, not to web search, but yeah, that is. You need to know what you're searching for. I guess I could have typed force feedback. Half the entertainment of my live stream is me looking for stuff in the menus. If we lose that, done. Nothing else to watch. It's a nice car, this. Well, see, this is a lot more obvious on the braking. So I think, you know, a lot of the force feedback might be very car dependent. Oh man, I'm just locking up and ploughing. It's got sensitive brakes on this one. Go. Let's get the field of view a bit lower than this. Let's that up. Give that a go. Hello, Adam Price. The rocket will depend what you look out for in your force feedback. What wheel do you have? Hello, Anderson Sholomir. Oh man, get this brake bar sorted out. Oh, there we go. Yeah, R-Factor 2's fine. Like, it's great. It's the bloody user interface. Like I said today, so I was practicing for go-karting, right? So I was like, oh, I'll go in R Factor 2. It's got the track I'm going to. It's got the karts. So I go to load it up. For some reason, it wouldn't load. For no reason at all. So I had to change a bunch of random graphics settings. Then it started loading up. I don't know what that was about. Then get in the game, and like the interface is so bad, like so unintuitive. Oh Jesus Christ! Now I'm just locking up. Snagging. Then like my steering wheel was back to front. Then it had that classic G motor, only one direction of wheel is being detected. Then, oh man, it literally took an hour to get running. It was faster for me to buy Kart Sim Pro from Bibos, whatever it's called, and download a mod track and get on track. It was faster to do and set up the simulator, having never used it before. Having never used Kart Sim Pro, it was faster for me to get up and running in that than it was for me to get up and running in R Factor 2, despite the fact I have used R Factor 2 in the past. I really like the Porsche Cup car in R Factor 2. I really like. There's a bunch of content in it that's awesome fun. Quite like the graphics in R Factor 2 as well. Right, here we go. Oh my god, there's lots of people in here. How was Kart Sim? Kart Sim Pro is good, yeah, for what it is. At low speed, the karts are a little bit funky, but at normal speeds, it's really nice. It's it's kind of like a mix between R Factor 1 and Assetto Corsa. The karts have a very natural slide to them, whereas in R Factor 2, the rental karts are just outright broken in R Factor 2. They don't make any sense at all. But the faster go karts in R Factor 2, still, they snag on the brakes really stupidly and then just go meh, like rotating really not in a go-karty rotational way, which does happen on go-karts if you lock up or you do something stupid. It just gets stuck in a state. But in Kart Sim Pro, they were really good. They drove like go-karts, like really convincingly. Oh yeah, AMS1 always had good go-karts, yeah. It's just getting tracks for AMS1. So the problem is, if you're using a simulator, this is the thing, right? People get hung up on like, oh, which is the most realistic simulator? Oh, this all fixed out, okay. They're like, oh, which is the most realistic sim? Ooh. And it's like, well, at the end of the day, if you're using a simulator actually as a simulator, that doesn't even matter. It's like, can you get the track? Can you get the track that you're going to drive on in the sim? So that was the problem I had when I went to Blyton Park. It was like, oh, I wanted to drive it. There's the only Blyton Park mod track is for R Factor 1. And that was on R Factor Central, so good luck downloading that. So that's the thing. I mean, R Factor 1, the original R Factor 1, or like from a real world perspective of you want to get the utility of a driving sim, with the biggest utility planned, the biggest utility of a driving simulator for someone that's not like in a race team. The biggest thing is being able to learn a track layout, general breakpoints and track layout. I didn't even have to be that close. And literally, like, if you had a good track model like GT Sport, any sim would be fine. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter the physics. It could be Forza. If you have a good track model, you will learn the track layout, which will save you 5 to 10, 15, 20 laps in real life, which is, you know, huge. Obviously, the way Formula 1 teams use sims is different. They'll be like driver in the loop testing, and so the actual fidelity of certain aspects of the components on the car and physics do actually matter. But even then, actually, the raw handling at the limit might not matter that much. As long as for like an F1 team, as long as a driver can be driving the car generally somewhat naturally as to how they would in real life, within half a second of the lap times that they would be driving in real life, that is good enough for a team to be able to like go, right, we're going to try this random setup thing, or right, we're going to try this component or a simulated version of this component. Right, we're going to use this different wheel setup, this, you know, for all the sim testing stuff. Again, you wouldn't necessarily have to have like the best tyre model for that. Yeah, I'll just get my race license tomorrow. I need to get my road license first. 7 Motorsports. Alright, we can get a lap time in here. Deathmatch at Brands Hatch. Jimmy would beat me easy in real life. For one, I guarantee he's like 100 times fitter than me. He's lighter and smaller, so that's already a bonus as well. He's only like 10 years old. He's got more. He's got less brain damage. Mind you, he does have to read more mental comment, so that takes its toll. Don't need a road license. Yeah, just get the race license. I'll get a bloody pilot's license and a race license before I get my road license. These are useful things to have in life. It's true. Typically you wear a helmet though in a car, unless you're driving real manly 1950s race cars, wear a scarf and some goggles. That's all you needed. Not sure what's going on with this car. I don't feel like the point before it locks up. Feels like a tank. Hang on a minute. The right-hand number is normally the rearwards. There you go. Yeah, I'm struggling to get that much feel out of this car. Like, you can feel it once it's gone over the limit, but... God, it's too much dampening. This is a nice car. I'm going to try turning down the force feedback on my wheel and turn the in-game force feedback up. I have got it on 50 in the main menu though. We don't want to be doing this. I'm just ploughing into understeer. I don't know what the setup is on this. It's quite an understeery setup. Oh, a little bit of lift off oversteer though there through that. Get there. can't remember if a higher number is more or less traction control in this. It'll depend on the actual amount to put on. Do you usually use the €10 pack for RaceRoom? No. I've got a press version. I've cheated. If you're getting into RaceRoom, you can... Thomas is in 4th. What a bugger. You can try it out for free, but you can use the... get VRRP from the RaceRoom store. Do that. Okay, find the right tab. Well, let's turn it up. Let's see what happens. What could go wrong? Turn that back down. Virtual race point. It's like their currency. So you buy that and you buy stuff through the RaceRoom store and it ends up being cheaper. Hello, Kim. Thought we were doing more Shiv. Kim bloody destroyed me yesterday in Age of Chivalry, in Chivalry 2. When I got the axe, though, I was doing better. It's all about the axe, guys. That might be a little bit bad. Kim's a bloody Viking. Ah, there we go. You know, from my perspective, because driving sims they're so like... There we go, reconnected. Refresh. Don't know why I'm saying refresh, because you're not going to hear it. What was I saying? Yes. Because a sim is so like calm, you need as much information as possible. You need like someone smacking you in the face with a concrete slab. So anything, like I think it just needs to be exaggerated to make up for the lack of feel. These cars look gorgeous, you know. They look like LMP2 cars. What? Just a bit sensitive on the brake for locking up this, but that's alright. Nice driving here, look at this! Nice close race. This is what's awesome with RaceRoom's ranking system. Is I mean, look at this, straight into racing with other people, nice and close. Oh, a way better exit. Ah! Bugger! It's power, just power slammed me into the wall almost. I need to turn up my tactile transducers. Coming through! This power's on my left still. Oh, come on. One more steering lock on this car. Ice on the road. Eyes on a cup of tea. It's alright, you just use the force feedback of hitting another car. That's the ultimate car radar. Oh, we're in 9th. We're doing alright here. We're dialing ourselves in quickly. Merry Christmas. It's alright. In RaceRoom you can have a bit of contact and it's fine. Car sounds great. Yeah, you just got to be very careful on the brake on this. It's quite snaggy brakes on this car. It's still quite forgiving, but relatively speaking. Going for 7th. Yeah, I've got the pace to get in front of these two guys. I don't know if there's enough time. I'll do a video on the force feedback, talking about things properly. I've already commented a few times. Problem is in a live stream is if you sort of review stuff in a live stream, you end up repeating yourself a lot, and you'll have someone that will disagree, and they'll disagree in some stupid way, and then you have to explain why they. Some people disagree in a correct way, like they disagree, like perfectly fine, like they have a good reason to disagree. They might even be right. But that's not a problem, because you'll be like, oh yeah, no, I you know, it's a subjective thing. That's fine, I totally get what you're saying. But some people will disagree in an absolutely mental way, and then you end up spending ages trying to explain why they're just flat out, they're just wrong. Like, it's not a subjective issue. And it gets very boring and tedious having to do that over and over again. Morning, Rick. Like the lift-off oversteer thing in AMS2. Oh, god damn it! I got pummeled. Oh yeah, you disagree is fine. I like people disagreeing. It's like you have to. A better example is probably like the anti-vaxxers or like the anti-mask wearers. It's like, look, you can disagree, but there's science. Like, it's objectively the case that wearing masks, like, it's not even debatable. You might not like wearing one. You might think that the statistical odds of it are whatever for whatever you want to do, but it's an objective fact that it has a significant positive impact. So you end up spending like bloody ages trying to explain to dum-dums. I can't bother with it anymore. Right. Oh, come on. I quite like the force feedback in Forza Horizon 4, actually. Don't kill me. Go! There's some places there. Let's get a bit more speed and pace. Woo! Screw peer-reviewed articles. I'm going to choose what I believe on based off a couple of websites and what my friends have been saying. What about AR versus VR? Oh no, that yeah, exactly. That AR VR thing is probably the perfect. How mental was that? Literally explained as clearly as possible there for like an hour, because it's quite interesting initially, like, oh, the differences between the two terms and what they mean and why, you know, why you do one thing or the other. But yeah, there you go. That's a perfect example. You'll find out. You'll see. Here we go. We're closing the gap here. Whoa! Oh, bugger you! S-Power! He's rammed me again. It should be called R-Power. Ram Power. Antoine, you can't screw science. It's a methodology. Screw reality. You know, Antoine, like, you need sights for your guns to work. How do you think they invented, like, board rifling and stuff? That was all from scientific methodology. Whoa! Pretty tense. Belly posture. Just all belly. Oh, nice one, Coggy. What did you go for? in there. Evening, girl. Screw science. Apart from the computer. Apart from going to the moon. Apart from vaccinations. Apart from curing polio. Apart from the ibuprofen. Apart from antibiotics. Apart from cars. Apart from aeroplanes. Screw science. Goddamn science and the invention of the jet aeroplane that allows me to travel around the world rather quickly and quite cheaply. Damn you, science. The scientific methodology. I want planes that crack when we go at high altitude. God damn using science to discover that metal fatigue's an issue and that you can mitigate it by not having square windows. God damn you, science! I want my planes to fall apart when I'm travelling. Explosive decompression is my hobby. I mean, it's so weird how some people are selective over, like, science. It's like, look. But it's weird that they accept it. Like, people accept it for planes. And planes are, like, the definition of, like, one of the most clear, obvious things that people use. Like, because a computer's fairly complicated and quite abstract, so I can get why people don't quite correlate computers with the scientific method. But, like, aeroplanes are, like, predicated on studies, repetition of stuff, improvement, models and hypothetical stuff that's then tested and then put into practice. It's like, and you get on a plane and your life literally depends on it. Painkillers are back, but it depends which painkillers. And that depends how much you're taking. And have you ever been in pain? If you're in chronic pain, painkillers are bloody... I'm telling you, when my back hurts, I'm pretty grateful for ibuprofen. Thanks for subscribing, Defang Shady. It's not Sector 3, they've changed the name to Sector 3. Yeah, too much of anything's not good though, isn't it? That's all medication, you know, it's all a balance. Drinking too much water will kill you. Right, here we go. Oh, stop. Well, so it turns out the drift line it paid off. Coming through the inside, boys. Whoa! Oh no! I wanted to. Oh, I totally screwed him over there. I totally cut across him because I didn't want him up the inside. Sorry, we didn't take him out there. Oh, can we carry the speed? Okay. Oh! Got a few dents in my car, don't worry about that. Well, thanks for subscribing, welcome along. Block. In the inside line here, 2 minutes left. 7th place, glorious. Ron, thank you for subscribing. I want Mr. Herzog to get pummeled by S-Power. He's acting as a buffer. Come on, car. Oh, we can get 6th place. Hello, JK. Antoine, I don't think you know what science is, mate. Science is a methodology. Like, it's not... The methodology of science could be improved, and it's not perfect. Nothing is perfect. But science is the best way of defining reality. It's the only way of defining reality. You're either performing science to better or worse. I think you're using the word science like you're sort of semantically using it incorrectly. Haven Gamer, hello. Thank you for subscribing. So for sure, there's certain things that haven't necessarily been studied that well. And so in terms of formal science, haven't been scientifically documented or peer-reviewed properly. And so you might find things that are particularly well scientifically studied that are the truth, that is the case. But inevitably, if you were to then put them through proper trials, you would, assuming they are true, you would discover that they were indeed true, or as best as you could prove that they were true. That's the whole point of science. Yeah, it's okay for explaining how everything in the universe works as best possible, but you know, outside of that, it's not very good. I mean, I prefer not to use science. I'd just rather make it up. You know, sometimes it just, you know, it seems better to just do what feels right. Hey, Matthew, it's all right, yeah. Oh, there we go. 7th place. Woo! This is telemetry-based force feedback. I don't know what you mean by that. I mean, technically, all the sims use telemetry-based force feedback internally. I mean, like, telemetry is just the sim outputting various data points from the physics. Whew, absolutely pooped after that. See the results here. That was alright, that car. It's a little bit understeery, but I think this is like a default setup.
What is the motive behind this demand?
Oh,
necessity. Necessity for money.
Thank you.
I'm not supplying money for necessities.
7 good sex is better. Get more sex. Like a sex machine.
It's all about the Zex. Thank you, Chedhead. See what he did there? Right. Woo. Thomas Schmidt won. We need to banter. He's got too good at this. That GIF is pure science. Nice one. Well done, Thomas. E-Brewers. Hang on, we've got like viewers in here that are too good. They're too much faster. Right, let's... I still feel like I could dial a bit more out of the force feedback. I don't feel like I'm getting the full range. The full whack. I think we need, like, the Titus here. Yeah, well, that's the thing, Maxwell, isn't it? The whole point of science is that it's self-correcting. It's inherently not dogmatic. So... if you truly had absolute blind... it's not even faith, but let's call it blind faith in science. If you were being as dogmatic to the scientific process as possible, you would be being dogmatic to not being dogmatic to, like, a thing. So you'd be like... the most scientific-minded and sceptical you could be towards something would be, what's the current evidence oh, test that with the current technology. Oh, that's what the evidence says. Oh, look, we've developed new technology that allows us to test things better. Oh, we've tested it. Oh, that's now saying this. Okay. And so you'll keep... at no point do you go, well, that's the truth now. You're like trying to chip away at the truth constantly. Antoine, so would you go in an underwater sub that's not been tested because science said it would work? You're not using the words correctly. I think you're confused. I think you're confused as to like what the word science means. Problem is that purest form of science is math, and it only begins to one. I don't think the purest. I don't think you could say that, Joe. I'm sure I'm sure someone could have a debate on that. The purest form of science is math. I don't think that's true. I don't think. Math is the purest language that can be used to describe things that we're aware of. But maths itself is not science. But I'm sure we're getting into like very, you know, semantic territory on how you're going to define stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you're typing. Is math science? I would say math is a language that's useful for science. I don't know. I mean, math is just a language. I think we're getting to the point where people are willing to say stuff that they don't know what they're talking about. I don't know, and I'll just say I don't know. Right, here we go. Ring. Bungera ring. T4, Tots T4. Perfect. Get on that. You're up 1. I can't count to anything above 7, so... Here we go. Look at the chats going off on one here. This is sim racing related. Oh dear. T Hammer, no, that's literally not correct. No, the point is the evidence at a certain point in time will have suggested that the universe was a certain age, and then what will have happened is new technology, probably like telescopes or I don't know, magnetometers, what are they called, the things that gravitometers, what are they called, those things that measure gravitational waves and stuff, what, you know, measurements of background radiation, God knows what. There will be other things that were being discovered, technologies that didn't exist in the past, where they'll have gone, oh, now we know that the universe is probably actually much older than we thought it was, so we'll update that because now we know. It's like, if it's bloody foggy, and you don't know anything, it's foggy outside. It's foggy, right? You go outside, and you can only see 10 metres in front of you. Someone goes, how far can the average person see? And they go, well, based off the amount of, like, what I can see, 10 metres. Seems like we can see 10 metres. Well, the fog clears, and someone goes, how far can you see? And they go, well, actually, now the fog's gone, it looks like we can see about 1,000, 2,000 metres. Oh, you bloody faith. You can't change your mind now. Point is, it's speculation based off the current evidence. It's not based off totally made up stuff. Oh dear, nothing exists behind your vision. Exactly, but yet my brain's graphics card's broken. Random call sign. Yeah, well, that's it. And the age of the Earth's another good example. It's like, well, sure, in the past they were like, oh, it seems like it's this old. And then, you know, they'll have dug something up and they'll have gone, oh, hang on, it looks like this takes that amount of time to move from here to there. And, well, maybe it is older. And then they discover, like, what's it called? Like, measuring stuff by how much they radiate and God knows what. You find new ways to test things out to then discover a better view of the best example is probably like microscopes. Until someone invented a bloody microscope, they didn't know that bacteria existed. Well, you invent a microscope, oh look, I can see tiny little wiggly things. Now we know that the smallest animal is smaller than what we could see with our eyes. They're not like, it wasn't faith or made up. It's like better technology allowed them to see better, which then allows you to update the current scientific knowledge base. Don't know why this is hard to grasp. I'm not exactly the brightest fish in the fish tank here. I'm the fish that floats on its side and doesn't get the food and just nibbles at the glass. Right. Take the front. Are there fixed setups, Mr. Lee? Yes, there are. They do have fixed setup races. Fire and water. Yeah, I'll stick with that. Right. Let's get the old Formula Rim on. Yeah, the problem is I think a lot of people don't know what science is. And then,
what is the motive behind this demand?
This is
Necessity for money. I'm not supplying money for necessities.
Did we ever settle if Dunes are hills yet?
No, that will never get settled. Hello, Elvis H. Thank you so much for the donation, man. That's tea bags. Thank you. By the way, guys, you should all subscribe to Random Call Sign. He's been smashing out the clickbait videos recently. Random News Sign at the moment. Oh no! I think I might have noodled my wheel here. Oh, I've done. I did this, but it's like if you change wheel rims sometimes. What's going on? Ah. 16 minutes left in practice. I could restart. Let's restart the sim quickly. Oh no, DD Gill time! DD Gill time. Oh, she's not even on the screen. Whoa. DD girl with the DD wheel. What a babe, what a beauty, what a sexy lady. It's a DD girl with the DD wheel. Double DD legs and the servo on her head. It's a DD girl with the DD wheel. Put your sim rings in the air. DD girl with the DD wheel. What a babe, what a beauty, what a sexy lady. Everybody needs a DD girl. Put a DD girl in your sim ring. Beautiful servo motors all over her body. That's how she rolls. DD girl with the DD wheel. What a babe, what a beauty, what a sexy lady. It's a DD girl with the DD wheel. Perfect woman. Girl with the DD wheel. Beautiful, perfect, magical, firm, rotates like a 60s Formula car. Well, dear, it's gone. Thank you for becoming a channel member there. Appreciate that. I've just got my wheel back up here. We should be good and running. Who was that? George Howard. Thank you. Hang on, did you donate as well and it didn't come up? Jesus Christ, did a $10 donation. That's $2 donation. Thank you, man. Oh no, now my wall's not working at all. We've got some issues here. Thank you, guys. Oh, there we go. There it is. Look, they've got this thing at the top that's quite cool for seeing what's going on. There we go. We're back, we're back, we're back. DRS, push to pass. There's my looking. There we go. I've got well good at binding stuff. Right. Get in there. There's like this scientific debate going on whilst I set up the wheel. So absurd. Man in a sim rig sets up force feedback wheel whilst people debate what science is in the chat room. Welcome to 2021, guys. Oh dear. Force feedback. Let's put it on 100 and see if it starts clipping, and I can turn it up and down. Yeah, the new UI is nice. It's easy to browse through. Oh God, I'm an idiot. I could do with some icons on things though. Like instead of it just being text, like cars. If this had like a little spanner, and this had like a little icon next to it. Like if these were further, if these were on the left, the words were on the left. And then on the right, there was like a little icon for each thing, so like a cog, some pit stop graphic, a monitor thing, spanner or something. Do you know what I mean? And then like a flag maybe on drive. That helps me. I text doesn't mean anything to me. It's just scribbles. I feel like Daniel Jackson reading gold text. I need icons. I'm an Egyptian deep down. But maybe they can't put graphics on it. Maybe it has to be text. I don't know. Ah. Here we go. I wonder what an Egyptian sim racing game would look like. Oh my God! A bit too much. Show me you won't like it. You hate anything but Assetto Corsa. I don't have to say anything. If it's not AC, you won't be happy. Hello, Lawrence. How's it going, man? Guys, check out Lawrence DeSoa's YouTube channel. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, see, the one thing with the new force feedback is that it doesn't. The front end feel's not there. That's the one. I don't know. That's the. If they can get that into it as well, like for when you're turning, you can't feel the grips of the fronts. It's a vibration. I think if it had that, then that'd be it. I've seen more in the Formula car. That was the one thing in the old force feedback that was really nice, is the exaggerated understeer effect. That was really good. They had that in the original AC, the enhanced understeer effect. It's there if you really overdo it. Yeah, but it needs to be like before you really overdo it. Okay, but so what you should feel is like in the real car, the moment you start understeering, the moment you turn the wheel too much, and the moment you start understeering, you feel the grip fall off immediately, like even before you get to the limit. It's like the opposite. So with this, you get like really good feel for the rear. So the rear coming out is really, really obvious and really strong, which is fantastic for the rear. But you need this needs to be the same for the front as well, if that makes sense. It's like both should be as obvious. I mean, in an ideal world, I'm not saying that's what you feel through a steering wheel, but that's what you feel through your body. Oh shit, I was reading the chat room. Distracted driving. No, my Fanatec settings are fine, Tin Top. I have like no dampening on my wheel. I run 2 FEI. I run 70 on the... Yeah, no, it will be through the steering wheel, but I'm saying from a sort of G-forces perspective. Yeah. The thing is like realistic, but it's not in a sim. It's not realistic because you can't feel anything. So I get the philosophy of doing that. I just personally, I think like. All sim developers should just F off realism and just go, right, what gives the player the most amount of feel? Because you need to feel that everything, like anything that allows you to feel what's going on better is more realistic than anything that doesn't. Just by virtue of like, if it's sat in the real car, the first thing you notice immediately is you can bloody feel everything. So obvious. So obvious. Like that is the crucial. It's like sim devs need to not get lost in realism. Well, it's subjective already though, Tom. Yeah, but it's subjective already because if you remove the force feedback from a sim, like ACC, it's like, well, you've removed the force feed, like you've removed the ability to feel what the car's doing. So it's literally fundamentally not right. It's like, so this is a trap that I think some sim developers are getting into, where they get comfort from going. It's the time model thing as well. With like what happened with some sims with their tire models, where they're like, wow, this tire manufacturer has given us this data for this tire, and it shows that it grips this amount and the fall off's here. And it's like, well, yeah, but when you drive the car around the track, it bloody doesn't drive like a real car. So it's like, I don't care what the tire data says. It's like, does it drive like a car? No. Well, obviously there's something wrong, isn't there? But you'll get some developers which will be like, oh, well, we're doing what the data says because otherwise we'll be making it up. And then you get someone like Niels who goes, hang on, let's make it so the cars drive like cars. And then he's like, oh, hang on, these are the best cars to drive. But I totally think it's one of those things where you should have... I think a sim dev should always go for like a literal interpretation with something like force feedback. The literal steering wheel type thing should be something that the sim has, or a sim has. As you know, why not do that? That could be like, that's like mode 1. And then for people that maybe have like full-on motion rings and all this other crap. And then for people that have like no force, like no motion rings or anything, and want to drive in this sense of how you drive in real life through the force feedback, through the feel, then you need other, you know, things need to operate for that as well. What's this, Ermin? What are you on about, Ermin? Do we all hate each other? I hate everyone, yeah. It is weird how much force feedback affects how you perceive cars. So a lot of people are like, oh, this car's understeery. I think it is a lot down to how strong their force feedback is. Like grip levels in sims is massively affected by how strong your force feedback is. Will Cheese entered the game. Mess around with the which motion rig have you got, Simulator 604? There we go, getting a bit too much there. So the downside of motion rigs is that they can't do sustained G-force effects, so they're really good for heave and suspension, which they do fantastically, which is really good for immersion. But they can't do the main thing, which is sustained forces, which is the most important part. Whoa! Seemed like just turned off there. I was going through the corner. Oh, we're getting there. We're getting there. I haven't tried the Formula V. No, I'll have to give it a go. I'm going to turn the road texture force back up here, get a bit more bumpies. These cars are really good for racing. Where is it? There we go. Crazy. Or road texture. If you've got a seat actuator, like a transducer for your bum, for the gear shifting, that's really good. Highly recommend doing that. Get like a search for my video, £150 motion rig. You'll see it's really worth getting tactile transducers. Even if you just get one base tactile transducer on your seat, it is so good. Probably after you've got like a wheel and pedals, it's for immersion, the cheapest way to get a really nice immersion. Yeah, I think motion rigs are a bit like bloody monitors, that gaming monitors. Like, it's one of those things, it's like driving a real car. It's like you don't want to do it because the moment you've done it, it ruins everything. Like with gaming monitors. If you've never used a gaming monitor, you're like, oh, well, I don't need it. The moment you use like a 70 hertz or faster monitor... What? The moment you use a 70 hertz or faster monitor, you're like, oh, I can't use anything else. I think the new force feedback in RaceRoom, it reminds me a bit like Netcar Pro. I think it's kind of like Netcar Pro-y, but with RaceRoom's physics. Netcar Pro is a bit better feel for wheels locking up though. I need to play Netcar Pro. I haven't played it for a while. I think the new force feedback gives you a lot better feel for the rear of the car, preemptively. Worse feel for the front of the car. That's probably the best way of putting it. Triples in it, but yeah, I'm all right with a single monitor though. I don't miss not having triple screens. To me, it's like VR, or if it's not VR, then it's a monitor. Well, you could crisp it if you had that. What's that oxygen liquid stuff? There's that gas you can get as a liquid. You can breathe it. Well, you don't have to breathe anymore. 30 hertz. Did you see that Microsoft Flight Sim update when they're doing the console launch? It's going to be 30 FPS on the new Xbox. Oh dear. I'm breaking all over the bloody shop here. I mean, to be fair, for a flight sim, you don't really need you don't need that much FPS, but well, it depends. Like, if you're flying the fighter jet in it and landing on aircraft carriers, but like if you're just touring around. Gee, yeah, so I'm not feeling. It's the fronts. I'm just understeering a lot, I think, because I'm not feeling the fronts. That's my excuse for driving badly. It's not like a bloody real car. Why can't we put real cars in driving sims, guys? Why can't we just have real G-forces in a sim rig? Why not? We need like a warehouse. we were like floating around in the sim rigs. Oh dear. It's all fixed out though, it's good. Okay. Our eyes can't see more than 24 FPS. So, because of science, it's motion rig icon. I saw a really awesome motion rig actually the other day that had what's it, surge, like really good surge simulation. So you've got heave, which is up and down. You've got yaw, which is like that. You've got roll, which is like that, but then you've got surge, which is forwards and backwards. And like when you get on the brakes, you'll notice like that's what you like, the braking, and and when you accelerate as well. But most of the braking part is the most important part. But they had it set up really nice. So it had like an actuator to push the chair forwards and backwards very quickly. Most of the rigs I've used in the past that have surge on them, it was just way too slow. Because it all has to happen like really, like you have to really go for it with the motion rig. How do you imagine career mode should be in a racing game? I don't know. There's multiple ways you could go about doing it. I think most people really like the force feedback. There we go. Look at this. Thomas Smith's up front. What a bugger. Thomas to git. Too much faster. Oh, hang on. This is the race. Get the fuel levels right. You said it yourself. A simulator cannot sustain force because of physics. I know. I know. But I just wish it wasn't the case. Because if you had that G-force feel in a simulator, you wouldn't need to get in a real car at all. Like the general physics, like especially in Assetto Corsa, some cars in RaceRoom and some cars in R-Factor 2, like even some cars in like the general physics are fine. You just need like that the G-forces, and it's like, well, why bother with the real car? Simulated car's fine. Why bother risking breaking her legs? Paying all that money. Yeah, Tin Top, most people's detection of FPS is caps out at around about 120 FPS. Like that's what the VR headset research discovered. Yeah, so okay, well, if I was going to do a career mode in a racing game, first of all, you would set it around it being like you wouldn't unlock cars. You'd be unlocking like sort of performance results and things. And you might be unlocking like stickers and cosmetic stuff. It'd be more about just setting up interesting scenarios, like the old N64 F1 games, where they have like missions and stuff. The Toka racetrack, like the story stuff, so hopefully the new Formula 1 games like this, but having like a sort of a basic story would be just nice. You don't even need to be animated. It could be, you know how Max Payne did its story with a comic book type thing? You could just do that. You just set up an AI rivalry, and so you set it up so that there's an AI in the single player that specifically beavers you and is annoying, and then you set up a story around that. You know, that this driver hates you and there's a rivalry. But basically, the first 20 minutes of the last Formula 1 game, just do that for a whole single player. That's enough. That'd be amazing. You don't have to animate it. Just be a comic book. Not how Max Payne did it. So it's probably the cheapest way of putting a story into a game. Yeah, but the sense of progression is delivered by story, Billy, and then also you also would emphasise the your personal stats as you play, and in terms of like your skill through doing tracks and like how well you've improved, and you know, it's still about presenting the information. Also, I think Sims, they try and give too many difficulty options. I think if a sim actually cut down the difficulty options and they gave it so it's like easy, medium, and hard, easy, medium, pro, and legendary or something, and then just the challenge of, so even how it is in Automobilista 2, like career mode for each series and what have you. But if they did that, but then they made it easy, medium, pro, and whatever, legendary, and you get like a badge and an award and everything that displays on your thing for beating a whole championship in each difficulty, that would be quite compelling, because you'd be like, oh look, I beat the official in-game, you know, I've completed the in-game career at X difficulty. And that sort of thing that's less than like 2 or 3 days work by a developer to do that in the lightest way possible. Yeah, even the Gran Turismo, the Great GT Sport, just getting the golden disco balls and like the Lewis Hamilton lap time mode, it's not sophisticated, but it's enough to like to give a little bit of gamer reward to like bothering to just do hot lapping effectively. It's all about presentation and manipulating the player. That's 90% of games design. Finding the best way to manipulate players into getting the rewarding sensation whilst doing the least amount of work on the development side. Cheesiest stuff possible. He's gonna hit me. Gamer Muscle should learn how to drive. Ah. That would never happen. I don't know, Needless Dragon, what's going on there? Oh. Loud on forwards there. I really enjoyed playing through the single player of Split Second. That was just fun. Just like do race, then have like a mission mode with some crazy thing. The thing is, a lot of the sim developers are quite small development studios, and just getting the game working in the first place to a basic level is quite a lot of work. So, you know, they don't they're not like AAA game developers with tons of free staff to work on individual components. Well, Half-Life 1 was better than Half-Life 2, everyone knows that. Like what I was saying on a comment on Random Call Sign's video, he did a video about AI in AMS2. Go and watch it, guys. But I said in the comment how AI in video games, the problem is they make all the video games like really complex, open world with all this random stuff to do in it, like all open spaces. And that's like a nightmare for AI. Whereas when you've got like corridors, like the original Half-Life, or the levels are quite simple, it means that the AI can be more believable, and you can even like have scripted and animated sequences for the AI, and then blend that in with AI stuff, and you can do it cleverly as a developer, and the player doesn't know what was scripted necessarily and what was actual AI, and it makes everything a lot more believable. Hey Bob, yeah, it's worth it if you're in Europe. The ranked servers have normally got people in them at the European times in RaceRoom. We have talked about Kingfisher Racing. Anyone can try RaceRoom out for free, so. Oh dear. Woo! Red Dead Redemption 2, best. I've not played that. I feel those games are designed for console though, so. Or the PC gamer. Bet you Thomas Smith's just ponying it up front. Like a bugger. Just run away. With no competing with him at all. Ah! Got me up the inside, sure. Sorry, locked up. Almost took him out there. I got my brake a bit too sensitive. It's Mr. Giuseppe.
Oh, come on.
Just all right. You fit the car on the side and drive it around. That's the best way to do it. About 3 minutes.
Whoa! He's gone wide.
A bit of a bottleneck here. Nice driving. Ah, come on. Battle going on. Thanks, Frank Zappa. Did you like the neutral shift into neutral? Oh. Thank you, Frank. I don't know. It says on the RaceRoom release page, it will tell you how big it is. I'm trying to get on the inside. Is that legal? 2 wheels on the track, bit of a wheel rub. He's still there. Oh, great sound effects when you bang wheels. Well, they've added some new sparks and new user interface and a bunch of stuff as well. It's not just force feedback. There are no real deal. There's like just the packs helicopter landing. You just get VRP off the RaceRoom store, and then you just buy like the packs that you want to get. You can just try stuff out for free, see if you like it or not. Oh. Nice little battle going on here. Tickling the tyres. Nigel Barber, yes, nice track, really good little test track, nicely tarmacked as well. be nice to go back again now. I like had a little bit of time to sleep on it. It's the worst thing of doing everything in one day. Is like it takes me like you have to sleep on something to consolidate information. So you really want to like. It's like the same with in a driving sim. You know, if you're learning a new track in a sim, if you do loads of hot lapping and you learn it, so like when I was learning an Nordschleifer or any track, you do loads of laps and then you just hit like a wall and then you sleep on it. The next day you're like straight away you're faster because you subconscialized. You've grey mattered the pertinent information. It's been written into the memory. Takes time though. What's he doing? Yoink! Freebie. Ah, there you go. That's all right. Yeah, I think. I think AMS2 gives you more mid-corner and a bit more braking feel. This gives more rear, like low. Like the force feedback in this is really good for when you're turning initially and getting on the brakes and the mass of the vehicle, and that sort of push on the front as you like for the rear coming out rather. But the front end feel is there's no braking feel, and the front end feel is really bad for. It's like you get a vibration, but there's not much variation in the front, so when you can't really know through the force feedback. You can't know through the force feedback if you should turn the wheel more, or if you should get on the throttle more, or if you're going. Do you know what I mean? Like you get a vibration, but it's not detailed enough for you to drive from the force feedback through the corners. In an absolute way. You know, you can obviously still drive it. Like you can drive any sim regardless of the force feedback, but if you're just going by the force feedback, the curbings and everything feel really good. Suspension compression is all really nice. Hello, B-Sim. Oh, Thomas Smith's bloody smashing it. Hang on. Get my face off your icon. Bloody hell. That's not when I had air. That was when I got the OSW, that picture. Jesus Christ. Stalked by my own stupid face. You can see I'm bolding in that. That was just before I shaved my head. That was when I was like, hang on, there's no air at the front. Need to just shave it all off. Well done, Thomas. Well done, guys. The user interface stuff's great. Whose man's is this? There you go. Yeah, I mean, as I said, I don't want to keep repeating myself. I was doing a video, but I think it's that front end aspect, Thomas, is what I thought. I don't know if you agree with me. What would you say? What do you think? Your opinions. Thomas is faster than me in this. Oh no, I've been stalked by my own bloody face. Face inception. You raced so hard to get the picture off. Don't buy anything till you watch the video. Oh, there you go. Thomas's laser stonker. Right, we might try another GT3. You can go way faster through corners than you think, but you can't. Well, that's yeah. I think that's all. As I said, that's all from my perspective. I'm obviously wrong because I'm always wrong about force feedback. I'm told repeatedly my views on force feedback are like forsaken. I mean, we all know ACC has the best force feedback in the world, so whatever I say is incorrect. I've learnt that now from talking too much on the internet. Ignore what I say. But yeah, like you need that like gradual fall off for the front end of the car. For knowing, like the two aspects of it are when you're turning, you have a fall off and to know how much if you're turning too much, if you're getting to the limit. When you're pushing, if the front's getting to the limit and start going to wash out or not washing out, you have that variation. Basically, back to front to how it works at the moment on the back, like when braking. It's just like the opposite. So how it is when braking, but now on the accelerator, so it switches over when you do the other thing. If that makes sense. I don't know. Whatever I say will anger somebody, so you know. What was it? The Corvette C7. Hang on, was it this one? Which one was the new one? It's this one, isn't it? This was. I wonder if they've bopped this because this was pwning everyone before. Tortellini did a video for ACC force feedback. Well, there's nothing you can change in ACC, so you have to drive ACC like a robot. That's just how you drive it. You have to like you go, and then it's like the grip falls off the front, so you snap quickly. That's just how you drive it. There's no variation in it. Don't say that, Thomas. Get into trouble. I can't. For some reason, that's not loading. Is the server full? Oh, I missed it. I'll tell you what. Let's go to AC. Let's do a direct comparison here with the godlike Simmer force feedback. You're just talking about LUT files. That doesn't do anything like. It does sod all. If you've got a DD wheel, you can feel everything from the sim very clearly. Like, the problem is with this discussion is you have a lot of people that have never used, like, they've not gone through every single force feedback setting on the wheel. they've not gone through every single force feedback setting for a start. Or they're also not using like a DD wheel or, you know, whatever. And they've not played every single driving simulator with every single force feedback setting on every single driving simulator. So they'll be like, oh, wow, this setting that you just got has made everything amazing. It's like, no, it hasn't. You had your stuff set up crap beforehand. So, yeah. Right, I'm going to do like a bit of AC here. We're a little test in AC. The grail of force feedback. But I think most of the update's really good, though. I think most people will prefer the new force feedback because, like with ACC, a lot of people like that. They like that more planted feel, more dampened feel to the force feedback. The UI stuff's really good. Right, I'm just loading up AC here. Little test. AC. I did that video. I was like, oh, AC has best force feedback, and loads of people in the comments are like, no, it doesn't. The new force feedback sermon has started. Why do they like it? Because they dampened force feedback feels, in a sense, it does feel more realistic. And it means if you do run stronger force feedback, you can run with stronger force feedback with less like exaggerated stuff happening. Force feedback might be personal, but what isn't personal is having more or less. There's an objective fact of more or less information. So you might not like more information. But objectively, you can have force feedback that tells you stuff that other force feedback doesn't. So it's like music, right? You might enjoy, you might really hate drum and bass, for example, right? You might hate how it sounds, or you might really like how it sounds. But it's an objective fact that drum and bass has like bass notes in it that like deep bass, really vibraty deep bass that you just don't have in, like, say, a classical singer singing. Like, you may or may not like those different things, but objectively, there's a... Oh, disconnected there. Yeah, there's objective components to it, and then your enjoyment of it's subjective. Right. What car? Titus. How's Titus spelled? Tatus. Is there no Hungaro ring for original Assetto Corsa? It's weird. Right. I got it. I got it 3 weeks later. I don't know if I'm arguing with you, JK. I'm just talking in general. Right. I don't know if this is the same as the Tatus in RaceRoom. Jungle Drummer. So, have you noticed, guys, how what's it called? What did Skrillex make? What genre was that? Dubstep, right? Have you noticed how dubstep has, like, disappeared? Have you noticed how trap music is like dubstep but good? That's what I found. Because I'm listening to a fair bit of trap music. I was like, oh, this is pretty good, and it's not as obnoxious as dubstep. Dubstep just feels like someone learning how to make trap music, but they've not quite got it yet. Because it's got the same, like, general structure, and I think it's a different type of beat. But it's similar sort of bass focus, and it's weird. Like, dubstep just feels like messed up. I quite like trap music at times. Oh, well, that's... I forgot to rebind my controls. Oh, I like a bit of electronic music. I'm a bit simple. I like all music. Controls! I lost my controls. I forgot how to use a Assetto Corsa here. Send me to jail. There we go. Oh, I need more coffee. I don't specifically listen to trap music. I was talking about that just as a comparison between dubstep. I normally listen to, like, hard house, hardcore, hard dance, vocal trance, techno, German techno, deep techno. I'm like a German raver. New disco, IDM. You know, I like a bit of Chemical Brothers, bit of breakbeat, left field. You know, all these things. This just feels like a real car. It feels like a real... Jesus Christ, Kunos, a fucking genius. Like, I'm sorry. Whatever Kunos did with AC, it feels like a real car, guys. Straight away. The way the force feedback is, it's like a real car. It's insane. Like, the credit that Kunos should get for the original Assetto Corsa, it's like the most insane work of art ever produced by man in terms of like capturing the essence of moving a thing with tyres on a road surface. So you can feel, so this is what's so great about this force feedback, is as I move the wheel, like, you can also hear the tyre scrubbing sound, which lines up to it as well. As you start pushing the tyres over the limit, you can feel the actual limit of the tyre through the force feedback. So I can feel, like, as I turn there, based off the speed that I'm going through the corner, I can feel exactly where the limit is. In real life, you can feel that through the G-forces. Like, without even the car moving, you can feel that through the G-forces. It's exactly the same. Like, the process here, from the force feedback to driving, is 100% the same process as real life, only it's more obvious in real life and more detailed. It's easier in real life to generally do, but there's more detail in real life. There's more depth in real life, and the car, things feel more responsive in real life. There's just more depth. It's more complex. But the actual process, it's like this could be a real car, but you're feeling it through the wheel instead of G-forces. It's incredible. Like, honestly, driving a real car has made me appreciate AC even more. And like, there's good cars in R Factor 2 as well. In fairness, there are some good cars in other sims. It's just like how incredible. Like, keep in mind that a driving simulator is bloody mathematics going through a computer chip, like some silicone and a monitor. It's mental. It doesn't make any sense. Real life, unfortunately, real life is still a lot better than AC. I'm afraid. See, I don't think, CB, that when you're driving a real car, I don't think you're using your inner ear to balance the car. I think you're using the G-force feel on your body more than your inner ear, because my inner ear is like messed up due to some weirdo condition thing I have. So it doesn't work too well for me. But you can feel the G-forces through your body more. I think that's what you're driving from, rather than your ear. I also think the inner ear is used more for, like, stopping you from falling over when you're stood up, more so than lateral and forwards and backwards, which is that's what you're feeling in a car. They're not. I don't know. That's what my mum has that, so I don't know. I've got some other thing, probably similar. I'd rather not talk about it because it bloody annoys me. But yeah, so I think you drive things through your, like, bum rather than your ear. But yeah, so this aspect of when you turn, right, again, you're feeling the tyres more. Like, the RaceRoom force feedback is good in many ways. Like, you can feel the weight of the car, but it's not as snappy as in AC. And, like, you can even feel the braking. 7, yeah, no, I think you would do if you were good. But, like, when I was driving your car, I was I was like a bit bamboo. There was a lot going on, so I wasn't like shifting at the right time or anything. I did notice the tyre skid sound quite a lot. I couldn't see the bloody display in the car because it was so bright as well. I couldn't see the RPM gauge either. I was looking at it, I was like, I can't see that. I need brighter LEDs. Yeah, so I don't know. In my opinion, I think if RaceRoom, if they could get that understeer thing back a bit, then I think that'd be. Then I think it's that'd be perfect. I don't know. I can totally see how people prefer, like, more, like, if you like ACC force feedback, you will much more prefer the new RaceRoom force feedback. And if you like stronger, if you've got a DD wheel and you like to run your force feedback stronger, then you'll prefer the new RaceRoom force feedback over the old one. I also think the new force feedback definitely makes the cars seem more planted, and it does make them handle in a less snappy way that's a little bit more believable than using the previous force feedback. But if you're someone that drives from like the feel, like you're sort of someone that would drive a real car from seat of the pants, or you drive sim cars from seat of the pants, then you probably miss that the range from the understeer. What on earth did Kunos do in AC though? It is so good. I know I just sound like a total fanboy. I honestly couldn't care if it was a Assetto Corsa, Automobile, whatever the sim. I'm just like, there is information in AC that you just don't get in other sims. AMS2 actually, let's say some cars in R-Factor 2, and AMS2 with the custom force feedback file I think gives you quite a lot of force feedback information. We'll jump into AMS2 in a minute actually. But yeah, it's just AC seems to be the only sim where I can jump in it and the process is exactly like the real world driving process, even if the car doesn't match to a real world car. The speed at which when you lock the brakes up, right, and it snags a little bit, but then the grip comes back straight away. That's very similar to the real car as well. So sims often break this aspect. Is like when you lock up in a lot of driving sims, the car stays in a slot, like iRacing does that. It keeps skidding. Whereas in real life, at least in 7 Motorsports car and a Honda Type R and what else? I've been in some other sports cars and stuff as a passenger. When you lock up in those cars, as soon as you come off the brake, it unlocks. Like, it doesn't matter that you're locked up. It's like, oh, it's locked up, but it comes back. You understeer, it's like, and then the grip comes back straight away. It's not like, oh, let's wait. It's like, well, you made a little mistake, but it comes back immediately, and you're slightly off the line you want. AC's more like that, where the grip just comes back straight away, but a lot of the other sims, the grip stays gone. So it punishes you way too much for locking up, or for turning too much, or for understeering a bit. Right. I'm going to try Automobilista 2 again. We'll going through them all. Why not? That Pidboss Go-Kart Pro has good physics and force feedback as well. To be clear though, I'm not slagging off RaceRoom. I think it is good. It's well worth having. You know, I'm being very picky. Like, I'm someone that's got like many thousands of hours in driving sims. So if you're like more casual and you're just getting into sims, you'll love RaceRoom as well. And we're still going to race in competitive servers. I'm just being, I think some people don't. I'm being sort of as critical as possible. Which some people frame as negativity. It's not really about being negative and positive. It's just being critical. AMS2, right. Let's see. Automobilista. After watching Game Watch's video, I was looking at the Celica's again. Oh, what, you're going to buy one? It was really nice road car. There's one parked up near me in real life. Dissent is negativity. Cheapest chips. Do you think AC2? I don't know. No one knows. I'll do a video on it, but AC2 will more likely than not will be ACC with different content and some various improvements. That's the most likely thing because of how game development works. They'll want it. They've spent all this effort and money on building ACC in Unreal Engine. They've got, once you've got that game engine framework, you know, everything's working in that framework done. That's the risky part. Once you've got that done, and once you've got to the point where you're effectively modding your own engine by just putting new content in it, you might add bits and bobs to it, but it's more modding than it is game engine construction. Like, that's where you make more money and more profit. So it'd be really weird for them not to basically make AC2 be ACC, if that makes sense. Right, let's do this little test. What's the closest thing to a Tatus in this? There is no Tatus in this. There's like F3 cars, but they're like that's like a whole class upwards. I don't know. I don't quite understand what went wrong with ACC's force feedback and like what's going on there. Like, I get it's got a different tire model. I don't know if they fundamentally changed things. I don't. You know, because they're like, oh, it's using the same force feedback. I honestly don't know what's going on there. Clearly, it's clearly not the same as AC or even close. But what do I know? Don't listen to me, guys. Find out for yourselves, because you might enjoy it, as a lot of people do enjoy different things. All right, let's try this F3 car. It's not anything like a F4 car, but that's not Silverstone. Yeah, so maybe it all comes from. So that's what they say, is that the difference is in the tyre model. Like ACC definitely has more fall off to the tyres than the original Assetto. Like the tyres are more abrupt. Oh Jesus, why is it raining? I set the wrong setting there. But you know. Is that because it's on today's weather? Rain. Thank you for subscribing. Right. Oh dear. Hello. Why are we not turning? I've done that the wrong way around. Probably have. Oh, there we go. Rank racing. Yeah, the thing with AMS2 is the rear diff doesn't make any sense. So it's hard to tell with certain things. You definitely have good range to the force feedback in AMS2. But I think the tyre model in AMS2 is a bit weird. You know, It's just a bit weird. It's the best way of describing it. I was just going through the different sims to feel the different force feedback. You do get a good in MS2 with the custom force feedback file. You do get a good range of force feedback to drive the physics of the game from the force feedback. It's just that the physics of the game are a little bit erratic. I quite enjoy MS2. I think it's good fun to race, you know. Oh yeah, the VR's fantastic in MS2. There's not really much feel for braking though, I have to say, in MS2. That's the thing with AC, the god of force feedback. You can feel everything. Braking, accelerating, understeer, oversteer. Everything is there. Everything's conveyed. The R-Factor file is the one I was using. Right. We'll go back into AC in a different car. Just a quick. What do we go for? What cars do we go for? Yeah, I think MS2's massively improving though. Like, massive like credit to Reza. I was just driving a GT3 car in RaceRoom, so that'll be interesting to.
Throttle!
Oh, hello! Oh no, it's gone! And that was a big donation as well! What? Oh no! Hang on, let me replay that. Jesus Christ, I don't even know how to live stream. So this is why, ignore everything I say, guys. I don't even know. My job is live streaming. I can't even do that. So, I mean, you know. Don't trust anything I say. What is it called? Streamlabs. And we replay the donut. Oh, $16? You meant to. Why are you doing that? What is wrong with you, B-Sim Racing? I'm not going to say anything positive about your website. Is that the bribery money? I forgot to take my clothes off again. Oh, God damn it. Right, hang on. I hope it's a good message. Right, how does this work? We all got to eat. Ah.
Throttle!
Thank you.
We all got to eat.
Thank you, Wim. Oh, Jesus. Cheers, man. Right, GT3. I need to make more entertaining videos here. Otherwise, you like, you know. What was I driving? The Porsche Cup 2017. Where's my pet? Oh, it's on. I've just it's just muted. What's it called? It's just set to. It's not cycling my cameras because my side cameras. Hang on. There you go. Porsche Cup 2017. Is that the GT? That's GT3 Cup. That's different, isn't it? GT3R is it? That's the GT3 car. There we go. Look at that. It's a really nice. Really like Porsches. Maybe one day we'll do the Porsche experience at Silverstone. I mean, it's incredible. Yeah, whatever Kunos did with AC is just... Because I haven't played AC for a while. The force feedback, I think it's mostly the force feedback. I guess it may physics as well, obviously drive the force feedback, but... It's just that it is the same. It's the same process as real life. That's the thing. It's the same process. Fantastic. Wow. Will AC ever be beaten? The skid sounds really good in AC. That's weird. I haven't really noticed it that much before. Well, yeah. All developers just need to copy AC's force feedback. Done. It's that simple. Obviously, that's how it is. That's how it works. Right. Well, there we go. RaceRoom's new force feedback, I think, is interesting. As I say, I think people that have DD wheels and like strong force feedback will like it. If you like ACC force feedback, you'll like it. I'd say it's more detailed than ACC force feedback in terms of the rear, loading of the car, the rear, and the weight of the car is really well done with it. The front end, to me, is not clear enough. You know, in terms of the understeer, the braking's not clear enough. It doesn't seem to have anything there really. A vibration, but not range of force feedback. It makes the cars more stable. I think it makes the cars more realistic to drive in a sense. What else is there to say? The new UI, really good. New update stuff, all that's all fantastic. The rank racing is obviously still there. That's some really good racing there. You just jump into RaceRoom and you can just do rank racing straight away. It's amazing. Like, you know, I don't know any other iRacing. You can do that, but it costs a fortune. You got some racing system on AC, but the rank racing in RaceRoom is really a really good feature. But yeah. that is that, guys. I highly recommend checking it out. You can check RaceRoom out for free. If you're getting into RaceRoom, you can buy VRP through their store. It will save you money. What else is there to say? I don't know. I don't know what else to say. Yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching, guys. That's what I'll say. Thank you for watching. We will be back soon. We've got to do some AC live streaming for racing. We haven't done AC stream for ages. So we'll have to do some AC classic races. Oh, Fanatec affiliate link. You can click that if you buy Fanatec stuff. I mean, if you're buying like 10 Aston Martin wheels, use my link. That'd be great. If you run a race team. Oh yeah, RaceRoom's got fantastic sounds. There you go. Thanks, B-Sim. Someone's paying attention. Smooth. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys. Thanks for taking part. We hit 100 likes in the first 10 minutes, so that was good. Take care. Thanks. Goodbye. This is what I do, and I can't do it very well. Life story. Bye, guys. Bye. Hang on. You said has Microsoft Flight Sim just had another update just now? I know there's an update coming out, but oh Jesus. I could get the flight sim. Yeah, we'll do a flight sim stream soon. I hope they haven't got an update. Right, bye guys, bye.